Talk live from Odesa to Michael Bossack, Senior Fellow at the Atlantic Council and the former spokesman for the OSCE Special Monitoring Mission in Ukraine. Michael, welcome back to the programme. Vladimir Putin claims that those missile strikes overnight were the result and response to the long-range US and UK missiles fired into Russia last week. But the truth of this is a tried and tested tactic from Russia, which is to target Ukraine's energy infrastructure.
Absolutely. This is totally the Russian playbook. I mean, we had that this summer when heavy targeting put out electricity in a lot of cities for many, many hours every day, including here in Odessa. And, we've had previous winters as well, where there was, one can argue, very little provocation, but yet the Russians struck. And whether you're a journalist or a commentator, sometimes you hate to be wrong. And I predicted a long time ago that this is exactly what the Russians would do. Take advantage of this vulnerability, the creaking infrastructure, the cold temperatures, and bomb the heck out of it, putting many, many people without light and in the cold.
Well, tell me more about people in the cold. We are now into the early parts of the winter. It is already cold. Give me an idea of the impact this is having.
I walked around for many hours today, Matthew, including to the area near where I'm standing that was bombed very heavily 2 or 3 days ago. And you have literally huge apartment buildings with no windows, no light, no heating. And also, where I'm standing right now, there's Mriya Centre. A lot of the children who are here because there's no heating or light in their apartments. Their mothers are out working or trying to make the best of things. There's a lot of very, very damaged infrastructure all over the country that I've seen, which just can't cope with these lower temperatures. And we're going to get even lower in the next few days.
Yes, I'm going to put onto the screen pictures that we've had in of people just holding thermometers showing already how cold it is, and this from various parts of the country. In previous attacks on the infrastructure, broadly, how long does it take to actually get things going again?
It depends where, and it depends on the severity of the strikes, but they can be pretty quick. After a day of inconvenience, things come back. But the situation we're in right now are the multiple consecutive strikes, but also the inability of electricity grid workers to replace transformers. They're not sitting on hardware shelves here in Odessa or Kiev. And the other thing I'm told is that it's difficult to get licensed engineers for certain types of equipment to come in and fix it. And finally, there's also the type of weaponry used, including in the past few hours, where you have cluster munitions that do extra damage, and it takes a while for energy workers to come in to do repairs because of the threat.
Let me return to one of the lines that I was just referencing, which Vladimir Putin, he's been talking in the last hour, a range of issues. He was talking about the state of the ruble, telling people not to panic, but he talked about these new missiles, and he warned again that they could be used to target key sites in Kyiv. How nervous do you think the authorities in Kyiv are about that possibility?
Well, I just returned from Kyiv about 10 days ago and stayed near the government quarter, and it's pretty safe. They're very well protected. And I think the Ukrainians have had so much thrown at them, different types of weaponry, that they're used to these types of missiles. This was a very powerful, very fast missile, and we had that in the past few hours, missiles traveling very fast, doing circuitous routes, and not knowing where they're going to land. So people here are pretty hardened against that. But again, when the temperatures drop so far, with such damage to the heating and lighting, it's very, very difficult on them.
Michael Bossack, we have to leave it there, but thank you for taking time to speak to us live there from Odesa.